Welcome to the Incoming Radiant Wellness Podcast, where intuitive movement educators Jem Burns and Stephanie Jolie help you to embody spiritual concepts in order to embrace your physio-energetic wholeness. And now, let's get to the episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Incoming Radiant Wellness Podcast. I am Stephanie.
I am Jem.
And we are the Incoming. And today we are talking on manifestation. How do you manifest? How do we manifest? And this is actually this concept, this practice, this embodiment is quite linked to last week's podcast, which we will link below, on talking intentionally. And it's a great place to start. That manifestation, we are manifesting all the time. This podcast, this moment between Gemini, this is a fully realized manifestation. You being here, listening to it, you called it in, we called in each other. And it's really, again, linked to that intentionality or that living intentionally. So that you acknowledge really the embodiment of where you are, how that feels in your body, how that feels in your life, where you are in this present moment, and then where you desire to be, whether that's a different version of yourself, a new partner, home, job, whatever it is you are consciously calling in. There is this tension, this tensegrity, the integrity of living in tension from where you are and where perhaps you wish to be. So there's this wonderful gap, this spaciousness that opens up in terms of how we can land our manifestations. So Jem, how do you see that gap? How do you see the manifestation playing a role in the gap and that gap playing a role in the manifestation?
Yeah, I love that you are weaving in the intentionality because it starts with that conscious awareness. That's how we can create change. Without it, we're having no place to have a reference point even for where we are and where we want to be. So that's the gap, where I am and where I desire to be, and whatever that is. There's gaps all the time for different placements of your desires, which we're always desiring new and many things, right? So in that gap, that space in between is this space where we can, I want to say, fall into a rhythm of how we can create that environment to become that other thing. So in that becoming, that metamorphosis that we're cultivating in between, it's going to be more than just words, but words are going to help us, right? The words are the spells that we're speaking, and especially when we're bringing intention into the language and matching the vibration, which we spoke about in the last podcast. So those words are helpful. They're going to help bolster that space. And we also have to work with the intelligence of the body, because without the body coming online to support us in that journey of where we are and where we want to be, we're going to get stuck in where we are and not get to where we want to be. And that has a lot to do with the beliefs that we're holding, which I would also venture to say that those beliefs are held in the body. I believe we think in the mind, oh, I believe this, it's here, it's here, it's here. We put so much weight and pressure on these big, beautiful brains. But the body itself is an intelligent vessel, right? It's doing things on our behalf all of the time. And so when the body comes into the persuasion of the desire of that other space, then we start to move. Then we start to move towards and in the direction of where we want to belong. So that gap is a way to play with with where I am and where I want to be. A lot of times for a lot of us, can be a frustrated place or a place where I'm resisting something. Maybe we're having resistance and that's why we can't get there, but we want to get there, but we don't realize that it's this resistance of safety, of really protecting ourselves because it's what we know and it's what's comfortable. So I would say that there's also a little bit of dance with that resistance. And again, the awareness of how do I understand what I want and how do I want to get there? So the awareness can create the change to pivot, to move in that direction of new partner, new job, new anything that you are desiring.
Well, yeah, I love that language you used. It's like we have to persuade our body. We have to allow our body to feel safe enough to hold that space for that thing that we might be grasping for. So in a lot of ways, there's a letting go of the end so that then we can find that presence in what is that next step and what is that next manifestation and the next 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 that eventually will lead to that one. Because the universe doesn't wait. And neither does your higher being, your soul. It doesn't wait. Oh, that thought that you just had, that manifestation isn't as good as the car, the actual tangible car, for example. So yeah, that seems really important to remember that manifestation is an embodied practice. And it really is as simple as closing your eyes, taking a breath, imagining yourself with that person, in that car, in the new country, with the child, whatever it is, and feeling that joy, abundance, love, fullness in this moment now. And the more that you can do that embodiment, actually embody, what would it feel like? What would it feel like to have that new thing, that new version, whatever that manifestation that you are calling a manifestation is? What would it feel like to have that? Because then your body is experiencing really the essence of what that person, place, or thing can offer you in this moment now. So you're actually manifesting it as you do that because you are embodying it and you are then creating the space in your body, your nervous system, your energy. You're syncing it all up in this present moment with that feeling sense, with that sentience, the conscious awareness of your body's sensory intelligence. So you're bringing all that all online together in this present moment, which will again lead you not only to the next and the next and the next, but to that satisfaction in this now moment. And it's something then that will bring, and it really is like pulling it towards you, that will just bring it to you with more ease and flow.
Yeah, I love that you're bringing in the sentience and feeling because the body, again, has this way of understanding the world in which we are interacting. And without that sentience, those feeling sense, really to feel and matching that, pairing that with that imagination place. Because the brain doesn't know what is real or what is not real. It only understands what is being created. And because we are these beautiful, blessed beings that have the ability to imagine, those creative juices, right, start percolating there. And then that can help with the sentience as well to start to feel that vision of what is it going to feel like, that version of myself that I'm desiring to be, that person that's in a partnership, that's in this divine partnership. What is she? How does she look like? What does she do on a regular basis? And I can feel, imagine, and then I can start to embody that. And that embodying is also paired with that imagination state where I can start feeling how does she brush her hair? How does she go to bed? What does she look like? All of these things that I can emulate from this self as if I'm already that version that's paired up in this divine relationship, if that's my desire in this moment. So it's an example to walk you through of how do we do that. It's not just like, I desire to be in a relationship with my words. I'm going to project an intention. I need more than that. I need to feel.
Mm.
What is that going to feel like? Why do I want that? How does that feel in my body? What is it cultivating for me? Because that cultivation, that feeling, is what's going to get the juices going to have that thing. We need more than just the thought, the words. We need the body, the sentience to come online and really navigate us to that new destination, because this moment is becoming this moment is becoming this moment. So it's all the time. How are we activating that space where we can have those things? So it's happening all the time. And I would say for the bigger things to like really sit, like Stephanie was just talking about, like really sit and take some moments to envision, right? Coming inside the vision. Our
Mm.
eyes are so powerful. They're working all the time for us, like super powerful lenses and calibration going on in these eye sockets. But the envisioning almost is like, whoo, takes you into a whole other depth of understanding ourselves and seeing ourselves in a different way that can get us to that other side of the gap.
And I loved what you were saying a moment ago about also the environment, creating the environment that will invite in that manifestation. And the environment, like you were just talking about, is your body. So yeah, how does she brush her hair? I love that. What clothes does she wear? Where does she go? What is she consuming? It has a lot to do with that awareness of, in all of your sentience, that again, that conscious awareness of your body's sensory intelligence. What are you imbibing? What are you consuming? And that is also a place, number one, of just pure awareness. Oh, what am I consuming? Do I like it? Can I change something? And then what is that next manifestation, outcome, etc., on the steps to the next and the next and the next? And so that environment, and also what you were saying, I think of it, there are these two beautiful terms, interoception and exteroception, in terms of how we experience movement and how we experience our bodies. I use it a lot in class. And you were talking about that, the in. We are the incoming here. So the more that you can come into your body, the more then you can emanate out what you wish through vibration, syncing up with frequency to then, again, magnetize that manifestation that you might be desiring. And so interoception, I think of these as these two ecosystems related to your body. So you have the internal mechanisms of your body. Am I hungry? Am I hangry? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, that feels good. So it really is your body, this beautiful dense form here, your vessel, in relationship to the inner workings of your body, which also include your emotions. And then the exteroception is the awareness, or that ecosystem of your body in relationship to its surrounding environment. What podcast am I listening to? What am I consuming through my eyes? What is my skin touching? What am I eating? What do I hear? What do I smell? And the more that you can hone in to this beautiful, again, it's really, for me, I will say it is always a figure eight. That's sort of not.
It comes in every time. Get it.
I was gonna say it's not an exaggeration. Thank you for landing that, sis. It is this beautiful figure eight of dialogue. If you can think of your body being in that neutral point, being in the X, and then the inside, and then the outside, and the inside and the outside. So it's this coming in to such deep appreciation, also just for your body and all it does for you on your behalf. And I know, maybe you can pick this thread up, sis, gratitude. And how does gratitude affect manifestation? How does it affect presence to then call in the manifestation? Because the more that you can get to know and love and really feel at home, heart open, moving energy in your body vessel, then the more appreciation, gratitude you have emanating from you. And that is a really beautiful place to begin to intentionalize and consciously manifest from.
Yeah, gratitude is a relationship to a feeling sense, right? So it's also activating that sentience, that feeling that we want to be something different or move towards something different. We all have these wants that are on the other side. And I would say that everything that is on the other side of what you want what is maybe in the way is self-love, because self-love can give you access to these points. So there might be a reflection happening in your field where you're not feeling that, or you're judging yourself or feeling these other ways, where something like gratitude or appreciation, even those words are very high vibing, they allow us access to hold a vibration. Earlier on, Stephanie was talking about holding, like making space, because there's also this journey of what is no longer serving me can move so that I can make space. Because a lot of times we can think of like these big manifestation goals of like, I want the car, the home, the husband, the job of my life, you know, and those things can seem distant. So a lot of times what's happening on an energetic level is I'm here in this vibration, but I want this thing that maybe is over here. So how can I access a point that's not in alignment with where I am? You have to raise your vibration, right? And so an easy way to do that, or maybe the most, I think it's the easiest way, is gratitude. Finding things you're grateful for. Gratitude, gratitude. We can all find things that we're grateful for, even when we're in a sour mood, even when life is hard. You know, it's like, yeah, thank you for this breath. Thank you for this roof over my head. Thank you for this bed. Thank you for this cozy couch. So then you can match, because it's about syncing now to the energy of what you want. We live in a very physical environment, and so these things that we want are not necessarily physical yet in our experience. And so how do we take something and really, I talk about sewing all the time, like how do I bring it down and loop it through so that it is a part of my experience? It's the same as a figure eight that Stephanie is talking about. How do I get to that 0 point and then loop it back so that I can see it and belong to it and have it as this yummy, juicy thing that I'm desiring, and seeing it now in my physical manifest? Well, we're going to use our physical vessel again, and we're going to utilize these tools along the way, right? We have tools here, and it's about sharpening and utilizing what resource we have. Gratitude and appreciation, I love for tools for manifestation, because they really help prime the pump of that juiciness to deliver and magnetize. I want to magnetize things into my experience. I want to desire something and then have that desire come to me, because it's cannot help but come to me, right? So I'm working with these different tools, and gratitude is definitely one of those tools.
Yes, and I love that in that beautiful golden nugget you just gave us, that you started with self-love. Everything is on the other side of self-love. Everything you ever desired is on the other side. And it seems like, oh, well, I love myself. That's so easy. And it really is. And I say that because I've recently realized, here's an example of a manifestation about value and worth, because I do think manifestation does actually have a lot to do with how we value our own worth, how we value ourselves. And I was feeling with my partner, I was like, why doesn't he see me? Like, why doesn't he see how amazing and all these things I do? Like, why is it? And then almost immediately, oh, have I not been valuing myself? Have I not been telling myself that I am worthy? What is that? So it was this beautiful flipping of the pancake in a lot of ways, directly back to me. And almost again, and again with this other flip-flop, almost as soon as I did that, I reconnected with a friend who was in Paris for a job, and was like, let's have dinner. Let's do it. And I was like, oh, I'm in the country. It is difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult. And then a month later, I found myself in this, so where I live, it's only about an hour and a half from Paris, but taxis are quite expensive. And so I found myself in this luxury taxi with this like beautiful man chauffeur in the front in this very deluxe suit and all this space, and it was just like, yes. And then Jem was just talking about this, juicing it. Wow, I belong here. I am luxury. I love the space money can afford, the abundance that I am feeling in this moment. And so I spent that almost that hour and a half feeling into that, feeling into the sentience, feeling really my worth. And I have mentioned this in several podcasts before, but I have been working with financial prosperity and specifically my beliefs around money. So to be sitting in this beautiful, like I'm feeling it right now. It's like, yes, it's like, oh, it feels so good. And an earlier version of me, a different version of me would have been like, oh, is that okay? Can I be? And I was owning it. So again, talking about, as Jem always does, collecting the evidence, even just thinking, wow, and then talking to myself, wow, Stephanie, look at that. Look at how you're just absorbing this frequency of abundance and luxury and wealth. That's different. And that is now present. And like I'm doing right now, it is this practice of recalling it into my embodied experience in this moment now, which will, I want to say inevitably, because I am feeling it, I'm going to feel more of it. Because I'm saying to the universe, yes, yes, I love this. It feels so good. So the universe is like, okay, great, here's more. And I have been finding it in new ways, and not necessarily always tangibly in money, but even my good friend being here. This whole month, I've reconnected with friends from almost a past life, and we've called each other in for this abundance, for this vibration of abundance, and so that again is for me evidence of really being able to hold that frequency, and that has to do, like Jem almost started us off with the nervous system, with breathing into the moment and sometimes slowing down so that we can actually feel that excitement, feel that fullness. So we think it's in our head, but actually your body knows. Your body knows how to get you there. So it is an embodied practice. And the more that we can feel it now, the more you're living what you thought was a future experience, but actually you're living it now.
I would also venture to say that, you know, we always want things, right? So we're always wanting something, but like just what the example you said, it's like in that moment you're really embodying and taking that time to be in that experience and almost like soak it up
Yes.
and allow that experience to really embody, like really come into all of the cells and structure of your memory, of your template, of your temple. And the more that we can also have, that's like where appreciation comes in. It's like we cannot recognize growth without an understanding of where we've been and seeing these iterations. Stephanie and I both in this practice are able to see it because we record it. We know it's a science, right? We're marking time of, oh yeah, that past version of me wasn't able to hold it. Well, why? Because my body was in my lack of worth and worthiness. And how can I change that cringe when somebody's gonna buy me something like a luxury taxi to show up in this beautiful dinner? So that's when that resistance value comes in, to start to work with the resistance. Again, the self-love. I think I love myself. I love myself. Come to the mirror. Come to the mirror. Do the work, because that's where you're going to find right away how much you love yourself. In that dynamic, I'm working with myself. I'm working with my magnetism. I'm working with this version of me and this version of me. I get to split myself into two and play with that dynamic in a physical way, right? I'm out of alignment when I'm not loving myself. There's something else going on, something deeper, somebody else's voice or some other energy in my field that is not allowing me to honor the love that I am, because that is what we all are in the core of our nature. And so the more we can emanate that, love is a great reflection of all that you want to come in. When I vibrate out love, what I'm going to see is love. It's this law of attraction of like what I'm giving, what I'm saying to the universe. The universe understands only vibration. You know, it's like, oh, she likes this, okay, I'm going to give her more of that. If I'm giving my energy and my focus to all the things that I hate, and I don't like traffic and I hate being in traffic, it only hears traffic. It's like, oh, traffic, she's spending a lot of energy on traffic, let's put her in a lot of traffic. She seems to like that. It's like, okay, how can I change my circumstance to align with the things that I want? And so there is this dance that you do with the self to really play and embody and return. And that part for me is something where I can be in that dynamic and find it and then hold it, because it is about holding it. Otherwise it slips through your fingers so quickly. And so how do we hold the things that we want? Well, it's going to be with love.
And it is this, what we do at the incoming, we do offer you many, many tools, and the foundation is exactly what you're talking about, Jem. It is connecting you to your source through our own unique blend of yoga, your own glowing awareness, this intuitive moving into deeper physio-energetic wholeness. It really is this, it's this full embodiment. Move to create that physical alignment, also that energetic alignment, to then be able to sit and emanate from that center of your source. And your source loves you. It's unconditional. That little I of the incoming is also that little I in manifest. The way that I see it, man, human, you, your physicality, and all of I is your source energy. And then festival, fete, party is the manifestation. So the more that you can directly sync up to all that is you, the essence of which is love, the faster and smoother and easier and with more flow that the party will come to you. So it's really powerful, this foundational intuitive movement that Jem and I have found together. And it feels very prescient for this purpose, for us to bring this beautiful figure eight of give receive. Another layer to this is also being and doing. Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're only doing. You can be still in movement. You can be present in movement. And then again, that's what all those ceptions do, interoception and exteroception especially, heighten our sentience to be able to simply be with whatever is happening, whatever is arriving. And also in mirror work isn't just being. Sometimes you do, sometimes you move, sometimes you close your eyes. So there's a lot of doing as well. So there is this fluidity between the being and doing in this intuitive movement yoga that we offer at the incoming. And most of it, not most of it, all of it, the purpose of which is to send you back to you, to recalibrate to your center so that you emanate really from that essence of love, of appreciation, of gratitude, these lighter frequencies to then magnetize all of the manifestations and all of the steps along the way, because all of those steps are fully realized manifestations. This podcast that we thought however many months ago, when we thought it, that thought was a fully realized manifestation. And we've been talking about wants and desires and new versions and etc. And that it's wonderful and it's natural and it's the human experience, because we are here to evolve. And all of those desires and wants is simply your soul evolving, helping you to crack open a new layer of the onion to continue your evolution.
Yeah, it's an embodiment work, because the body has to be a part of the journey. It is where we are all journeying from the vessel. The body is here to do things and interact and be a part of this world, or you wouldn't have a body. And the things that we want are going to be physical things, and we live in a physical place. So it's again bringing it into a physical practice a physical way of initiating that change or those pivots for yourself to move into a different direction, which is going to be your awareness, your consciousness coming online to even have the thought. Every single thing was a thought before it was a thing. Sure, this microphone, everything was somebody else's thought, and for it to become this fully manifested physical thing went through the same process that you'll move through. It has to take it from up in this place where we think it's just like, oh, this desire that I have, it's on the cloud nine that I want to live on. And how do I bring that into my experience? I'm going to have to pull it through my body, and then I'm going to have to work it out in my body to feel for the resistance maybe, or for what is that part of me that is not, why I don't have it, right? Why don't I have that thing? Maybe it's a wound, maybe it's a space inside that maybe you're not valuing yourself. So it's how do I get all these things online so that it moves, we get ease, we get grace, we get magnetism, right? We get this powerful force that we don't even see, we just know. Like I witness magnetism all the time in my life. This is one of the things that I'm really curious about, is how fast can I manifest things through magnetism? And it's so powerful to allow the things to come in this experience and play and have fun with it and be curious and, oh, okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me try something different, you know? So it's really taking these things, it's the embodiment, it's the words, it's the intention, it's the awareness, right? All of these parts of yourself. The self-love is a huge part of what you're going to receive, because it's where you can hold what you can hold. This is the journey for the human. This is the evolution for the human. This is the growth for the human, because we will never stay in one space. We're always evolving, no matter what. Your soul will push you out if you're not doing that for yourself, that journey, and then you're playing in that dynamic. So yeah, just so much in that self-love, that calibration to the self, to the honoring, to that position, that pull where we can really bring in that abundance, that prosperity, that life that we all desire.
And that once you really consciously play with how you are manifesting and your really deep appreciation of your embodiment through this feeling into the love of self, it might look different than you expected. And I say that because I've been moving through it for a long time. My rage got really big before I was able to move through it and reach a new level. Also, my joy. I've been really listening to this wonderful playlist that I made for the Align course, and wow, have I been able to hold on to the joy that I'm feeling within the sound frequencies. So it works both ways. Meaning joy takes as much space as something like anger or frustration in your body home, and your body might need to unlock and move through layers of resistance in order to manifest the next and the next and the next, and to create that ease and flow.
It's work with the little manifestations, work with the little things along the way, and then keep track. You know, oh, I got a free cup of coffee.
Yes.
You know, all the little manifestations that maybe you didn't even ask for, but are happening, because the more that we lock into the physicalness of the experience that we're having and link that to the self that we know, because this journey for all of us is to really know ourselves. And it can seem like, what do you mean? I know myself. I'm this person. What are you talking about? You know, we think that we know, but do we know how we feel? Do we know where that feeling is coming? And maybe we don't even need to know what that feeling is, but it's a knowing that we're in a feeling, right? It's not about like getting mental about it. It's about getting sentient about it. This new era of time that we're moving through is all about the sentience. It's all about unlocking. How do we feel we are ready to really be in the body and work as a result of this new place that we've reached as a collective, to be ready to learn how to heal in different ways and energy and all of these other dynamics. And that is a result of a manifested desire, right, to do it in a different way, because what is not working. So it's the same for our own body. It's like, okay, this is not working for me anymore. This is not serving me anymore. That's why I want something different than what I have right now. Okay, so now I'm going to come and really know myself through all of my senses, because I'm going to work with the senses to bring about those changes. So it's this dynamic constantly of delving in, finding the resistance. How can I see it to change it? We have to see it to believe it here in this earth somehow, right? But most of what's happening on our behalf is invisible. It's in an invisible state that we cannot see, but we can perceive through our sentience. So it's powerful, like the wind, right? We know the wind is moving because we can feel it. We don't see it, we feel it. And it's going to be the same for all of these journeys that we're on. We may not see it, it may not be something that we can even imagine, but we can taste the glimpse of something that we want and not have it all the way defined, and allow, through the trust and the faith of the journey that we're on in these practices of gratitude and appreciation and love for where we are, and understanding the body and all of our nature, to become this next version of the self that we belong to as well.
I love all of it, and I love that you said we are ready to feel. Collectively, we are ready to feel. Or that's what I took away. So beautiful. And thank you everyone for listening and watching. And we will see you next time here at The Incoming Radiant Wellness. Mwah. Gros bisous.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to the Incoming Radiant Wellness podcast. If our vibration resonates with you, subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you would like to join our community, theincoming.co, click the link in the description to gain exclusive access to our weekly classes, monthly offerings, intensives, and courses. Until next time, shine bright, radiant beings.